Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're taking a look at the 16th installment of what I like to call What I Eat Wednesdays, where we take a look at some of those What I Eat in a Day as a Fat Person videos on TikTok. The first video is going to incorporate some different elements in it than our normal What I Eat in a Day videos. It's going to be a little more interesting than usual. In order to examine this further, we must first apply comb to mustache.
Here's what I ate today as a fat person who prioritized nourishing myself over listening to my ED who wanted me to restrict.
Alright, so you're prioritizing nourishing yourself instead of restricting like your ED wanted you to. I was doing air quotes right there.
It was a rough day today.
So in order to fight your ED, you started the day off with some Captain Crunch. So in order to fight our overconsumptive ED, we're going to start the day off with processed carbs and sugar? Isn't that just going to make you more hungry shortly and lead you to binge? Or are you saying you have a restrictive ED? No, you're not saying that. Nothing fights the EDs like Captain Crunch. That'll show your ED. Dude, whether you have a restrictive or an overconsumptive ED, Captain Crunch is not the answer, my friend. I assure you. There is no question for which Captain Crunch is the correct answer. Unless the question happens to be, hey, how can I cut up and completely destroy the roof of my mouth? I used to love Captain Crunch.
My ED was screaming at me the moment I woke up and it...
Bruh. No, I'm listening. Go on. It was screaming at you for the moment. Oh, goodness. No, seriously, what? It did what? This is what you had for breakfast, okay? This is all that you've had so far. Alright, and then after you consume some lies, you chase that with some Captain Crunch. Whoops. I almost said Captain Brunch. Oh, jeez. Am I the only one who's always forgetting if there's two T's in latte or two E's? I'm always screwing that up. I know it's two T's now because I literally just looked. But I'm always wanting to put two E's sometimes. What the heck? Oh man, thank God you didn't let your ED win this time. Bethany is finally taking control of her life and not letting her ED win out for once. What is this drink, my friend? This is the color of my colon. What's happening? What is that liquid at the bottom? What is this? Is this just like extra liquid sugar that you had them put in there? You're like, yeah, let me go ahead and get 3 inches of liquid sugar. You don't even measure it by like ounces or teaspoons. You measure it in inches.
Set the tone for the rest of the day.
Oh, I bet that did set the tone for the rest of the day. What tone did that set for the rest of the day? This one? You just go right to sleep. You just have yourself a nice sugary drink. And man, I feel freaking amazing. And there you go. That's how that works.
My self-image and confidence were low and I could hear...
Your self-image and confidence were low. Hold on. I'm gonna have a hard time keeping track of the food and also the ridiculous stuff that she's saying.
Hear my ED telling me to restrict.
You could hear your ED telling you to restrict. When was the last time you listened to it? Have you ever actually listened to it, or it's just always there telling you stuff? Because, you know, we all have voices in our head that tell us all kinds of crazy things, and what's important is whether or not we act on them, you know, like... What? No, we can't do that. We can't do that. They said... Wait, what? Huh? No, we can't... Don't tell them about that. If they knew about that, they would think that we were crazy. But you're not supposed to act on what the voices in your head tell you. You're supposed to pretend like they're not there. It's when inanimate objects start talking to you that you know you've really got a problem. What's that? Get rid of all the phonies. Alright, I will. Alright, I will. Alright, what were we talking about again? Oh yeah, the lies. The lies. Okay, and then, so your ED told you to restrict, and then you won again. So you beat your ED by not restricting again. If there was a scoreboard for you and your ED to see, like, who's won how many rounds, what would that look like? Alright, let's take a look at that tally. So for you, we've got a lot of wins here. And then your ED, oh, Well, it's good to see that you're not letting the ED win. It's good to be part of a winning franchise, isn't it? And then to make sure our ED didn't win, we had some pizza rolls, poblano pepper cauliflower dip, pretzels, and fruit snacks. Man, you are kicking that ED's ass, huh? So we got a bunch of processed carbs, frozen, reheated, processed garbage, and some sugary snacks. Could we still beat our ED by eating some healthy food, or would the ED be winning if we did that?
To be less. To stop kidding myself and all of you lovelies and go back to what I knew best.
Alright, I'm going to rewind just to listen to all the words that she says up until this point so we can just hear it all and take it all in, and then I'll pause back at this point and we can get back to the food.
Here's what I ate today as a fat person who prioritized nourishing myself over listening to my ED who wanted me to restrict. It was a rough day today. My ED was screaming at me the moment I woke up, and it set the tone for the rest of the day. My self-image and confidence were low, and I could hear my ED telling me to restrict, to be less, to stop kidding myself and all of you lovelies and go back to what I knew best.
What do you do best? Is it the restricting? I don't know if you're that good. So hopefully none of y'all got tired of obese people saying that they have a restrictive ED and using that as an excuse to go off the rails. I'm sure you people that really have a restrictive ED really appreciate seeing this person constantly make up one that doesn't exist and use it as an excuse. This is like stolen valor, man. Like when somebody pretends to be in the military, they're wearing all the garb and stuff, and you're like, what military base did you go to? And they're like, St. John Bragg Fort? What? You're like, what? That ain't a real fort. Not that I was ever in the military, so don't get it twisted. Fort Army man guy? Go team, go. They're like, dude, get the fuck out. Stolen ED valor, madam. You're appropriating other people's cultures, I think is what we would call this.
Starving myself.
You know, the first sign of starving yourself is weight loss, my friend. I don't know how you could starve yourself but not lose any weight. This is crazy.
But I couldn't let that happen.
Yeah, dude. Can't let that ED win. Like it won all those other times. Should we go back to the scoreboard again?
I told my ED to shut the fuck up, and I was...
Stop talking. Dude, it's getting annoying. It was funny at first, and now it's getting to be way too freaking much, my brothers and sisters. What is happening? Alright, so let's focus on the food before I completely lose touch with reality and go into a blind rage. So we have vegetarian butter, chicken, rice, garlic, and naan. What is vegetarian butter? What is that made out of? I don't know what the hell vegetarian butter is. I would just call that not butter. I would call that some other thing. I definitely wouldn't refer to it as butter.
Kind to my body and spirit today. I ate my safe foods and nourished my body with foods that brought joy.
Are we ever gonna stop, like, just doing things that bring us joy? They bring you joy in the short term, but are you joyful later? Do you feel any sort of negative feelings about the way you just ate later? Or perhaps the fatigue you feel from eating all this stuff is not going to feel so good later. You can't be short-sighted, man. You got to see the long game in this thing, okay? On the first day of the job, we can't just rob the secretary for the $20 she has in our wallet. We should stay at the job and realize that we can make hundreds of dollars every single week, maybe even thousands. It's called the long game, my friend. Instead of robbing a bank, start a business and rob people the legal way. Come on.
Was it a balanced day? Well, maybe not as much as other days.
Okay, can I see those other days where it was balanced? Alright, so now we got some apple cider sandwich cookies. Maybe not as healthy as some other days. So it could get worse than this? You're like, it wasn't the most healthy of things. So you're acknowledging that everything that you just ate is not healthy. But you're also acknowledging that on some days it gets even unhealthier, I think. I think that's what she's saying. It wasn't my healthiest day, but it also wasn't my worst.
But it was still a victory.
How was any of this a victory? A victory over who? Who did you just triumph over? Your own health? Take that. Take that, my own health. Victory screech. Yeah, baby, this is what I'm talking about. Somebody please clip that and make it part of that whole Moist Critical thing. I want to go viral, goddammit. We could call me the mustache, short-haired Moist Critical. Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Sorry, I'll stop.
My ED didn't win.
I don't know. I think you have an ED in the other direction, so I think it completely won. So you don't think there's anything disordered about the way that you ate today? Like literally just processed carbs, sugar, candy, whatever tastes good with no regard to anything on this planet. When you know that the way you're eating is unhealthy and it's going to continue to make you uncomfortable in your own body, yet you continue to do it, there's nothing disordered about that?
I did, and I will continue to win.
I love the cornball emotions that are attached to this, and I will continue to win. Like, if you put that cornball music on there and use those corny emotions, then nobody can question you for your dietary choices. I prefer the what I eat in a days where they're just like, yeah, I know this isn't unhealthy, but I'm eating it because I dang felt like it and it tastes good. You know, that's like, that level of honesty I can totally respect. When people make up all this nonsense, all right, let's add the day up. All right, so you started this day off with a nice warm serving of lies, and then we proceeded to have some Captain Crunch and destroy the roof of our mouth because why not? Processed carbs and sugar will make us very hungry throughout the rest of our day, and we're beating our restrictive ED by consuming this garbage. And then we had a pumpkin spice latte, more sugary chemicals to give us a blood sugar spike for no darn reason. After we had those two sugary drinks, we decided to stop messing around and get serious. So we had some pizza rolls. And then we also had some poblano pepper cauliflower dip, some pretzels, and some fruit snacks. Then you had some vegetarian butter for some reason. I don't know what that is. So we just take some olive oil and keep whipping it until it turns into some sort of cream. I don't know. And then you had some chicken, rice, garlic naan. Wait a minute. Why did you have vegetarian butter if you then had chicken? I don't understand, but you got some chicken in there, that's good, and some rice and some garlic naan. And then you decided to have the third dessert of the day with some apple cider sandwich cookies. Okay, let's evaluate carefully. This one here, I'm not seeing a whole lot of goodness going on here. Just the chicken, really. The chicken and the rice. Okay, that's that was the only nutrition that you had on this entire day. Therefore, I'm going to have to give this one a 1 out of 10. Since I spent so much time talking about that one, we're not going to have time for a whole lot more. Maybe just 1 or 2.
Hi guys, welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day. Remember, I'm fat and I don't eat healthy. Today for breakfast, I had an iced coffee, made at home, of course.
Where's the coffee? Is this the coffee? That? First of all, it's only from there to there, and even that part's all like light colored. It should be black from there to there at least. You don't even have that much. Even this part's watered down. So how much coffee is it? Like from here to right there? Is a splash of coffee and then 10 ounces of cream?
Then for lunch, I felt like having a veggie sandwich, so that's
You felt like having a veggie sandwich. Hold on now. That balsamic vinaigrette, that didn't look, that looked all thick. Why is your vinaigrette so like white colored, like it's mayonnaise based? A vinaigrette is just supposed to be a couple different kinds of oil. I'm not sure why this one is so cloudy. It's like, it looks more like a mayonnaise based sauce than a vinegar based sauce.
That's exactly what the fuck I had.
Alright, so you had a salad sandwich and some Cheetos.
And y'all know I don't have a veggie sandwich without Cheetos.
Okay, a veggie sandwich and some Cheetos.
Yesterday I asked y'all what y'all did for work, but now I want to know how much y'all get paid for what you do.
Why do you want to know how much money I make? What the heck?
And do you think you get paid enough?
I honestly think that there's no amount that is enough to pay me. Alright, so let's see. Then you had a South Texas combo, sushi. It looks like some like fish and some rice and some other stuff.
Anyways, then for dinner I had sushi from H-E-B, and
That looked like gas station sushi. And then what is this, a bean burrito? A bean and cheese burrito?
for a late night snack I had a bean and cheese taco. Nah,
Taco? That's a flour tortilla and it looks like it's about to be rolled up. What are you talking about? Man, we're calling that a burrito. Alright, so this is all that you ate all day. A coffee, a veggie sandwich, some sushi, and a burrito. And some Cheetos. It really is genetic, isn't it? You really don't even eat. This is weird. This is a comically low amount of food. I would eat more than this in a day, probably. Alright, so let's see. You started the day off with some liquid sugar. Then you had a veggie sandwich, Cheetos, gas station sushi, and a bean and cheese burrito. So you had a little bit of protein via the gas station sushi only. Yeah, you know, I hate to give out the same score multiple times, but I'm gonna have to give this one a 1 out of 10. Well, since I ranted about the first one for so long, that's about all we have time for today. Anyway.
Presents on the page. It's me, Nikocado Avocado. Obviously, who else would it be with a double chin rocking like this? Okay. Do it now, peasants. Subscribe to the channel. Because I say so.
That about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.